Ravi's Journey to Space. Chapter 2. Ravi and Grandfather in Space. Written and read by Venkat. The next day, Ravi woke up earlier than the early birds. Even though grandmother did not approve, Ravi and his grandfather went ahead with their plans. Ravi went to his grandmother, fell on his knee and requested her blessings. The grandmother was very touched and said, "Be good, study well, and help a lot of people." Ravi got up, smiled to her and said, "Don't worry about the journey, grandmother. We'll be fine and we'll be back very soon." "Grandmother, can you cook my favorite drumstick curry when we are back?" Grandmother smiled. After a while, Ravi and grandfather wore their space suits and sat inside the rocket. There were windows on all sides to look around. There were numerous buttons of all colors everywhere inside the rocket. "Ravi, do not touch any button without asking me," grandfather said strictly. "Okay, grandfather," Ravi nodded his head in agreement. The countdown for the launch started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the mini rocket had started. The rocket slowly lifted up and Ravi was able to feel that they were flying. Even though Ravi seemed to be fervent, he was very fearful inside. "I'm scared, grandfather," Ravi said. "Ravi, it is common to feel a bit scared when our big dreams come true," grandfather said. He was looking at the various buttons and monitoring the working of the rocket very carefully. From the window, Ravi was able to see that they were slowly flying. In a few seconds, he could see the entire village from above. This is how a bird will see the village when it flies in the sky, he thought to himself. The rocket was accelerating faster and faster, and both the passengers were pushed back in their seats. As the rocket went up, Ravi could see the entire landscape, including the hills, and a few minutes later, he could even see the sea. "I'm very far from home now," he thought to himself. As they went up more and more, the blue sky was turning darker and darker. In a while, the entire sky was fully black, and Ravi could see the earth as a big ball. "Why is it very dark, grandfather? Is it night already?" Ravi asked. "No, Ravi, no. It is not night. It is very dark because we have crossed the Earth's atmosphere. The blue color of the sky is due to the atmosphere. Since we have crossed it, now there is no more blueness. There is no day or night in space." "So, grandfather, you say that the sky is blue because of the atmosphere. Then why is the sea blue in color?" Ravi questioned. "The water in the sea reflects the color of the blue sky. That is the reason for the sea to be blue as well," grandfather concluded. "This is amazing. Everything is interconnected," Ravi said. At the same moment, a pencil from grandfather's pocket started to float up in the air. Ravi could feel as if he was floating inside the rocket too. He could see that all those equipment that were not attached to the rocket started to float as well. Ravi's eyes and mouth were wide open with surprise when he saw this. This is the first time he was seeing things to be floating. Why? Why is everything floating?" Ravi asked. Since we are far away from the earth, there is no gravitational force here to attract everything downwards. Gravity, or the gravitational force, is the reason why everything falls down in the earth. And since there is no gravity here, everything is floating, Grandfather said. Let me surprise you even further. Grandfather looked at Ravi as he took a bottle of water. Ravi, tell me what will happen if I pour the water from the bottle now. The water will pour down and it will wet the seat and the rocket. Ravi laughed. Grandfather did not answer. Instead, he squeezed out the water from the bottle. What a surprise! The water did not fall down. Rather, the water formed like a bubble and was floating in the air. Ravi could not believe what he was seeing. He touched the floating water bubble and it started to wobble like a jelly. Wow! This is the first time I see a floating globule of water. Is it floating because of the absence of gravity? Ravi asked. Yes, said Grandfather. Can I drink it? Ravi asked. Yes, you can, Grandfather said. Ravi went near the floating water globule, placed his lips against the water and sucked it to drink. Drinking water is pretty difficult in space. But we can be sure that it won't spill, Ravi said, for which Grandfather started laughing. My science teacher had taught me about gravity, but he never said anything about floating, Ravi exclaimed. After a few minutes of playing with floating things, Grandfather was working sincerely on his buttons and all the tests that he wanted to conduct to see if the rocket worked properly. After a few minutes, Grandfather looked at Ravi and said, Ravi, look at the stars. The stars were mesmerizing. They both looked at the stars and were seemingly lost in the beauty of the stars as the rocket slowly drifted away from Earth.